making a junk build for my industrial urban board. Hi there, welcome to Good Enough Scenery, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this exact piece of scattered terrain you're seeing in front of you out of bits and pieces that I'd collected and put in a bag and then finally decided to put together as a bit of scattered terrain. Let's get into the junk build. Time to do some junk building for the 40k board. So I have my bag of stuff that I've collected for doing just this. So this was a peanut butter tub. It has now been sprayed black. Got vitamin pots, some old. These are pen lids and stuff that have been sprayed black. If you look on my pipes video, then you can see what they're from. So I want to combine these things here, which you've got laying around, with other things like got this that I picked up for not very much money that's got pipes and connectors, and I've also got this fine mesh stuff as well, so hopefully going to make some very cool 40k urban scenery with that. So, well, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to come up with a plan and then I'll be back to you. This is the design I've come up with. So I've got a foam base for this, which I'm going to have bricks around the outside. I'm going to have a metal top made out of mesh. I've got this peanut butter thing here, vitamin things here, and some pipes here. This is going to be sunk down a little bit. I'm going to have some steps, I'm going to have some little details, and I'm going to stick random bits from pens that I've got left over in a few different places, maybe a couple of extra things as well. So that is the design I'm going to go for. So I'm going to have brick detail going around the side. Now you can do this fairly easily with a knife and a ruler, even easier with a roller. So could have been straighter, but about as quick as it gets in terms of doing bricks. Okay, so that's that done, and I'm going to have some steps up into the centre. I need to decide where this is going to go. Now, ultimately, this is not going to be like this. It's going to be like up there. A walkway just one base wide, I think. It's about 25 mil, so we'll give it a little breathing room. So something that's really my plan. Actually, let's just see if this works straight away. So it's taking something to, not looking for something sharp, I'm looking for something to dent the surface as much as possible. Hopefully, I'm hoping that the screw thread might be able to just take over and act as a massive drill. And it has. Well, that was unexpectedly cool and easy. So that's where that's going. Trying to decide whether to have steps or a slope. I think just maybe a few steps is going to be the easiest. But right, before we do that, I'm going to score quite deeply. Oh, actually, let's call it what it is. I'm going to cut. So, centimetre in along here. Okay. Right, some steps. Right, I'm just going to do one big step up on each side, which is a sort of step that's going to be functional rather than looking realistic, which is always the toss up between the two. So it's going to be wide enough for a base to go on, but there's going to be one step and it's going to be quite high. So we're going to cut down halfway, going to cut down here, eyeballing halfway because I'm a special type of idiot, I've decided to do something that requires a high level of cutting accuracy using one of the hardest to cut materials that I have. This is some steel mesh. I bought this stuff thinking that I'd be able to get through it with a pair of pliers or something like that, or maybe a very sharp knife, or I don't know what, but it turns out you can't. You need these are tin snips. These are, I think they cost me about £6, so not horribly expensive, but they go for it like scissors through paper. And ironically, I can use these better than I can use scissors. Okay, that is accurate enough for the time being. Now the reason for this once cut, these edges here are okay. This once cut is, you easily spike yourself on, and we don't want that for our terrain. So I've made these little slots here for it to fold down into. That's why I've made it slightly bigger. So I'm going to make a little snip here, so that's just like 1 centimetre in. Just our guide for the cut. So we can just push and fold that down like that. Trim. So where those corners are marked, they're going to have to be snipped off entirely. Right there. So line this up with this edge here with a steel rule. Trusty steel rule, finding yet another use. We'll press down hard, and then we are going to fold this up like that to probably just past 90, so we've got some wiggle room with it. And the hope that this then can, with a bit of persuasion, tuck into there. Obviously the bit stopping from going, but essentially yes it can. So we can do the same with the rest. So I do think that's going to work, so that's an important thing. So get that done first. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'd like to. So I'm going to paint all of the brickwork red, and then I'm going to paint this top bit here red as well, as if it's the top of bricks. It's painted, and this will dry a lot darker than that because of the foam that is going on, so that can be placed to one side. Now the remaining parts that we've got, which is this, and these other little pieces, some of them have been spray painted black already, as you've seen, but I'm actually going to spray paint them all silver now, which I'm going to do outside off camera because there's nothing particularly special about it. It's just going to be me spray painting. So just take the paint and spray it on all of it. And then we have some stuff painted silver. It's very early in the morning, so it just looks dark. But believe me, it's silver. So whilst I wouldn't say this is dry, it's going to be dry enough. So I'm going to get this put in, probably get my hands a little red along the way, and that's fine. Cool. Yeah, wait for the paint to dry first. I'm just impatient because next we're going to paint our, whatever these are. I mean, what is this thing I'm making? I don't even know. It's just a thing. It's got pipes and silos and stuff. We don't need to know what it does. It's just a thing. This I decided I want to be red, so. Now I've got that, I'm just going to try and stipple it to get some of this excess off, because I've just gone hard and fast at it and just covered the whole thing, perhaps a little too something-y. Prop it up without getting any more paint on our hands, because I literally just washed them from the last escapade with red paint. One of these is going to be yellow, and one of these is going to be blue. That's what has been decreed by me for no apparent reason. Right, let's leave all of these to dry, leave them in the sun, which is going to be up for about 9 seconds by the look of it. We will enjoy those 9 seconds. Right, I decided with these steps, I'm just going to put a bit of plasticard across that. That's going to slot in there, slot in there, like that. You don't need to see me, just put some glue on them, and just stick them down. Back in a minute. So whilst other things are drying, I'm going to add some more detail to this. So I'm going to start with Seraphim Sepia. The idea of this is that I want this to be a kind of silvery pipe, but I also want it to be kind of a little old looking. And then we've got this, which is typhus corrosion. And then finally, we're just going to take some of this is brazen copper, and we're going to experiment here. So. That was fun, so I'm going to do another one. Let's find something else. This is Aztec gold, so this is like a green gold colour. So I'm going to drip this in the same places that I've dripped the other one, just to see what happens. I think it looks really gross, which is perfect. Just on the few bits that are remaining. I don't know what's happened to this pipe, but I really like how it looks. Probably do a little bit on the underside once this is dry, but for now, that's glorious. Age this a little bit. I'm going to take some Talos bronze and round here. Going to brown it up a little bit. Probably what it won't show up on camera, but this is going to be the beginning of stuff looking kind of rusty. Rust effect, but I am really tempted just to stab this, just to create some damage. So. Even more now. So I've got bored of waiting for this to dry, so I'm telling myself it's dry enough. So we're gonna screw that in. Obviously. these two need to be on here. And how are we looking in terms of height? I'm not gonna lie, that's even better than I could possibly have imagined. And it's practically level. Right, so we need a whole lot of hot gluing. Right, so positionally this is exactly where it's all going to be. None of it is glued yet. I'm going to wing it. And then cover this in glue and not worry about overspill. Go with that. So get that one nice and central first of all, and then these are going to be where they are, but location wise I've more or less nailed that. And I'm going to go around the edges here, and what I might also do just drawing on a leak with the, well, that's solid enough that I can pick it up by the thing there, so that's pretty cool. It's looking good, but it's looking too clean, so I'm going to take some brown. What I'm going to do is just dirty it all up. The last video cut off because the battery died. Sorry about that. No idea where it cut off, and just here I am again. So I added some just different colour tones across each of the things. Painted some green down here. All sorts of. So I think the only one I didn't end up doing, so that's one I noticed, was some kind of more orange, and anywhere where I've kind of put a bit of brown maybe, that's where I'm going to say some rust might be. So not painting some, just kind of stippling it in a few places. Also going to actually paint the bottom section here, because I feel like if there was going to be a leak, that's where it would have leaked out and stuff. I'm just going to add a few more just random plastic bits on, so these are just bits of pen that I'm just going to so I picked these up. These are actually like apparently jewellery accessories, and I'm going to use them fixing the little gears and wheels and stuff like that. So I've cut the very end of a pen off here. Try not to get glue all over my fingers. I've got a big wheel thing here, and I'm going to place that in the centre there. Just going to add some random, so put this glue down here, so I might as well try and dab it on. And have that. Is that going to stick? We just don't know. Okay, so I put this big wheel just on the inner edge of this thing here. Slightly fiddly, there like that. Maybe these two are going to go side by side, so right there next to the have it over here. Don't know what all of this is supposed to be, but it looks gross and industrial, and that's what I wanted. So we'll call that done, and let's see it on the board. And here we have it on the board. Not bad for something that's just bits and pieces, pens, empty pots, leftover bits of plasticard, and some paint. That's all this was, all thrown together. So if you like it, then please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments what you want to see in future videos.